Divorce is often one of the most emotionally draining and life-altering experiences a father can go through. The feelings that arise during this time are complex, ranging from deep sadness and grief to frustration, anger, and guilt. For many fathers, the pain of losing a partner is only made worse by the fear of losing their children or the relationship they once had with them. But in all the heartache, there is hope. There is a way through this. Coping with divorce isn't easy, but with patience, support, and a focus on healing, a father can not only survive the process, but also learn to thrive afterward. This journey is difficult, yes, but it's also an opportunity for growth, self-reflection, and rebuilding a life that may be even more fulfilling than before. The emotional toll of a divorce can feel overwhelming. As a father, you may experience a sense of loss that goes beyond the end of the marriage. You may feel as though your life is shattering, your identity being questioned, and your future uncertain. It's okay to feel all of that. It's okay to grieve, to feel angry, and to wonder how things ended up this way. Divorce doesn't just separate two people, it separates a life, a home, and a family. The weight of that loss can be heavy, and there is no timeline for healing. One of the hardest things to face is the grief over the marriage itself. Even if things weren't perfect, there was a time when you believed in your partnership and dreamed about your future together. Losing that vision is like losing a part of yourself. If you find yourself mourning not just the relationship but the dreams that came with it, know that it's a completely normal and necessary part of healing. You deserve the space to process these emotions. There's no shame in it, but as you grieve, remember that this process doesn't mean you're weak or incapable. It means you're human. We all experience pain, and it's through facing that pain head-on that we begin to heal. Anger often comes as a secondary emotion to pain. It might come from a sense of injustice, frustration with the divorce process, or even bitterness about the way things turned out. You might even feel angry at your ex-spouse, or maybe at yourself, questioning where things went wrong. The frustration of seeing your life turn upside down, of watching your children experience pain, is deeply unsettling. But here's something important to remember. Anger, if left unchecked, can be corrosive. It can damage relationships further, and that's the last thing you want, especially when it comes to your children. Anger can create barriers to meaningful communication, not just with your ex, but also with your children, who need your love and calm more than ever during this time. When you feel that anger bubbling up, take a moment, step away, breathe. Go for a run, take a walk, or practice some form of physical exercise. These are simple things, but they work. They help you release the tension without letting it take over. Anger often comes as a secondary emotion to pain. It might come from a sense of injustice, frustration with the divorce process, or even bitterness about the way things turned out. You might even feel angry at your ex-spouse, or maybe at yourself, questioning where things went wrong. The frustration of seeing your life turn upside down, of watching your children experience pain, is deeply unsettling. But here's something important to remember. Anger, if left unchecked, can be corrosive. It can damage relationships further, and that's the last thing you want, especially when it comes to your children. Anger can create barriers to meaningful communication, not just with your ex, but also with your children, who need your love and calm more than ever during this time. When you feel that anger bubbling up, take a moment, step away, breathe, go for a run, take a walk, or practice some form of physical exercise. These are simple things, but they work. They help you release the tension without letting it take over. On top of anger, guilt often rears its head, particularly for fathers. You might feel like you've failed your children, that the dissolution of your marriage has left them broken or confused. Maybe you feel guilty for not being able to keep your family together, but guilt, while natural, can be paralyzing. It keeps you stuck in the past, preventing you from moving forward. The truth is, no one walks into a marriage expecting it to end in divorce. Both partners contribute to a relationship's success or failure. You are not solely responsible for the breakdown of your marriage. Yes, you might have made mistakes, but so did your partner. You have the power to reflect on those mistakes, learn from them, and grow from them. But this doesn't mean holding on to guilt forever. It's time to forgive yourself. You are doing the best you can in difficult circumstances, and that's enough. As a father, one of your biggest concerns after a divorce is how it will affect your relationship with your children. The thought of not seeing them every day, of not being a daily presence in their lives, can feel like an unbearable loss. It's heartbreaking, but the truth is your relationship with your children doesn't end because of a divorce. If anything, you can make it stronger, especially when you commit to staying connected, even when things feel messy and difficult. One of the first steps in this journey is making sure your children know they are loved. Regardless of the circumstances, children often feel like they're the ones to blame when parents separate. They may wonder if they did something wrong or if they could have prevented the divorce. They need to hear from you that it's not their fault. They need your reassurance, your comfort, and your presence. Honesty is important, but so is protecting their innocence. Be truthful with them, but explain things in a way they can understand. You don't have to go into every detail about the divorce. What matters most is that they feel safe and loved, no matter the changes. As difficult as it may be, you have to be strong for them, even when you feel weak yourself. If the custody arrangement means less time with your children than before, it's critical to make that time count. Quality over quantity. Those moments you do spend together should be meaningful. Go for walks, play games, or just sit down and talk. Make an effort to truly connect with them, even if it's just for a few hours each week. They need to know that, although their world has changed, their relationship with you has not. Divorce doesn't just impact the family structure, it often leaves you standing on unfamiliar ground. Your daily routine is disrupted, your home is different, and the life you once envisioned is now uncertain. But as daunting as it seems, this is also an opportunity for reinvention. You can rebuild, and you can rebuild better. Start by focusing on yourself. What are the things that brought you joy before the marriage? What are the passions or hobbies you let slide while you were in the relationship? Take the time to rediscover those things. Investing in your own happiness and well-being is not only good for you, but it also makes you a better father. Your children will see you growing, learning, and taking care of yourself, and this will inspire them. Sometimes, this might mean seeking help. Therapy can be a lifeline during and after a divorce. Having a therapist to talk to can provide perspective, help you work through your emotions, and offer practical advice on coping strategies. A therapist can also help you navigate difficult co-parenting issues, improve communication with your ex, and rebuild your confidence as a father and as a person. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Healing takes time. It's okay to not have everything figured out right away. It's okay to feel sad or angry or even lost. These feelings are part of the process, and they will eventually pass. What matters is that you are moving forward, one small step at a time. As you continue down this path, remember that you are not defined by the divorce. It's a chapter in your life, but it's not the whole story. Your future is still unwritten, and the power to shape it is in your hands. While the pain may not go away overnight, it does get easier. One day you'll look back and see how far you've come, how much you've grown, not just as a father, but as a person. There is life after divorce. There is happiness to be found again, even if it takes time. And as for your relationship with your children, know that love doesn't depend on proximity. What matters is your commitment to being there for them, to showing up, and to being the father they need, even when it's hard. Divorce may have taken away a lot, but it doesn't take away the love you have for your children or the love they have for you. And that's something that nothing can ever break. Please subscribe if you would like more content like this.